Welcome back to another trade recap, guys. We're gonna go over a trade I just took. I actually made a mistake on this trade where I actually ended up risking, let me just bring it up here. I have it set to 0.5 and I ended up risking 0.5 on this trade when it should have been 1%, to make that $1,000 for the trade, risking 1 to 2, right? I ended up only risking 0.5. This trade actually did end up working out. Let's look at my current stats. Right now, I'm on a winning streak, 6%, no losses. This the filtering that I'm able to do really helps keep me out of bad trades. And typically, what ends up happening with the way I'm trading is I'm picking a direction based on a 1 hour, 30-minute, or 50-minute fractal model, and typically, if price is going to continue to expand in one direction, I should actually be able to get on side with the trade very easily and be able to get the 1 to 2. Now, a lot of the times, if I lose trading this way, it's because price is not expanding in the direction that I'm expecting, right? And typically, what's good about this method is because, like, once you have a daily bias, right? Let's say we're going to expand bullish on the day, right? So let's say I'm expecting this candle to be bullish on the day, right? As long as I have a fractal model that supports that idea, which we did right here, SMT is at the lows, and we had a C2 closure. Mind you, this is 9 o'clock, so I can't, if I want to trade 10 o'clock, I can wait for the 1 hour closure to see if we get a 1 hour fractal model. But because I want to trade on side with that last 30 minutes of the 9 o'clock candle, I actually am looking for a 30-minute model. Now, luckily for us, we had a 30-minute model right here. 9 o'clock had a C2 closure. So I was trying to trade on side with this, the last 30 minutes of that 9 o'clock candle, essentially, right? So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to trade this candle here and try to be on side with it. Now, we're going to start from the top down, go back to the daily, and just look at how I determine my daily bias. I will say I'm trading in 2018 right now. 2018, this chart, I'm not sure if it's the data, the FX replay data, but we do not have an 1800 candle. We have a 1400 candle, which is unideal. That's why you see that the chart is really gaps. They have a lot of gaps, which is kind of annoying because it's I'm not used to trading with so many gaps on the chart, so it's a little bit difficult to figure out what the bias is sometimes. But clearly the order flow is bullish, mostly bullish. We have little to no down close candles, so we are ultimately bullish. Now, today is also a Tuesday. Monday traded upwards. We don't have the low of the week being set with anything such as an SMT or a chain in state of delivery necessarily. But, you know, because the order flow is so overwhelmingly bullish and Monday closed as an up candle, I'm already going into Tuesday as with a bullish bias just from the daily chart, right? So then we go to the 4 hour, still overwhelmingly bullish. But what are we doing on the 4 hour? As usual, this doesn't change. We're always going to market our 600 candle, and in this case our 400 candle, or in this case our 10 o'clock candle, because I don't know what's going on. So we mark that out, right? With all the gaps, you can't really tell much from this. So I had to go down to the 1 hour to get a closer look at what the hell is going on here. First thing I look at is, are we trading away from a lower high of day? Now, the low of day wasn't really set with anything necessarily. Not really, right? We do have a swing point. One thing I did note is that we opened, we came low and then we traded higher, right? So right off the bat, I'm kind of still more so bullish. Excuse me. But and then I looked at the hourly, marked out this fair value gap. But because I want to ideally trade in that second 30-minute window of the 9 o'clock candle, right? So 9 o'clock, I want to trade. So I went down. Well, first of all, I noted that we had an SMT here. And I realized that this SMT was placed from this higher time frame 1 hour fair value gap here. We didn't have a 1 hour on ES, but that's fine because we still have this SMT in play. So because I want to trade ideally that second 30-minute window of the 9 o'clock candle, I went down to the 30-minute, and lo and behold, I recognized immediately that we had a fractal model. Mind you, this fractal model is also, you know, set with an SMT, yes, and then I think the only biggest thing is that we have a SMT here and we had a definitive C2 closure back within this candle here. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to yawn. So basically, what am I doing, right? So I want to trade on side with this candle here. If we're going to continue upwards, because we already had this closure, right? And we already had the SMT, so there's a good chance coming into 930 that we could just expand. Expand to where? Expand to these highs here. Or even take it higher if this candle is going to be, or if this day is going to see a huge expansion to the upside, right? So what do? I mark out the high and low of this candle. And you're probably like, why am I marking out the high and low of the candle? Because I want to set an equilibrium line here. I could use my Fibonacci here and do this, but I think this area, marking it out with this pink/purple area, allows me to understand where we are. When I use my Fibonacci and just seeing this line, I can't really tell when we're leaving this candle's body, like this, the area of this candle here. So I mark it out with this rectangle here with the equilibrium line. Because ideally, we want to tap into this equilibrium line and then go higher, or even not even at all, just stay in the upper half of this candle and then expand, basically, right? So that's why I mark it out with this instead of the Fibonacci. And I guess I could set up a special Fibonacci. I think I have 50%. No, I don't have a colored version. I could do something. I could make a colored version of this, but I prefer, I don't know, I do like the pink area because it allows me to understand that, hey, I'm still in this candle, or I'm hitting the equilibrium of this candle. Ideally, if I want to go higher now, I want to see some expansion outside of this pink area, right? So once I saw that, and once 930 opened, I immediately went down to the 1 minute. That's just my thing now. I just like entries on the 1 minute. Now, this might get a little bit confusing, okay? So one thing that I'm really paying close attention to is look at that down here. I'm paying really close attention to how this 930 candle is opening, right? So we already expanded up, right? We have a break of structure here. Coming into 930, we have a break of structure. And then, so this is our first instant that we're going up to the upside. So this is our trend change, right? Basically, this is confirming that we're going up, but I need a continuation confluence. So this is my second filter that allows me not to take a trade that is not going to otherwise go in my direction. So we respect this fair value gap that was put in right here. And then, so that's good. But now how do I validate that this fair value gap is holding the closure above this order block here? So once we got this closure above, I immediately set my entry, stop at the bottom of this wick here, because this is a pretty sizable wick, right? This is also a C2, a 1 minute C2 closure back within the range of this candle. Price can come down, respect the equilibrium of this candle because this is a premium wick, right? And then this is also where the fair value gap is as well. So ideally, I wouldn't want to see price come back below here, and just continue to expand, right? And that's exactly what we had here. Luckily, I didn't even have any deep retracements here. Just a couple more entry opportunities, and then we just expanded away, and we hit my 1 to 2, and that was at 9:47. So a pretty quick trade, relatively. And yeah, I did not take this trade on ES. I really dislike how ES looks right now. It's a really splotchy chart. Now, how could I have taken this trade on ES if I wanted to? Same thing, right? Unfortunately, unlike NASDAQ, we didn't have a break of structure here. I mean, actually, I guess here, fair value gap, closure above, but it seems that I would have had to enter here, stop, maybe at the bodies here, and would not have gotten my 1 to 2 just yet. Now, does it end up hitting it? Let's see here. And it does hit it. So you could have taken this on ES as well. But the framework on NASDAQ was just a little bit cleaner, nicer. But ES would have also offered the same amount as well. So that's that. That's that trade recap. Doing pretty good. If this was a challenge, I would have gotten it. Let's see if we can keep this momentum. And again, as the goal has been for this entire channel since I started it, is to see 6% plus more consistently and to basically have a higher R&R. I do think this trading method is nice. It has a lot of filtering that filters out taking bad trades, and typically the only reason why one of these trades wouldn't work out is if the candle that I'm trading is not expanding in the intended direction, right? Or maybe it's a deep retracement, which can happen typically. But because I'm doing so much filtering on the 1 minute, I would say it does keep me from getting into bad trades, especially if I'm trading fractal models, which is the core foundation of how I'm able to get on side with these trades, right? So I will say that I'm still learning, still trying to get better. I need more data to make sure that, hey, this is a good way of going about this. I do think that trading on the 1 minute does require an incredible amount of precision. So in that regard, you get better entries, but it's also a lot riskier as well. So, and in some ways it can be a tad bit more confusing. But honestly, this is the one method that allows me to have such a high frequency of trades. One, it requires a high level of precision as well, too. And even the entries have a level of precision that allows me to stay out of trades, right? And it's a very time-sensitive, time-focused trading strategy as well, because time is very, very important to how very important to when I decide to enter a trade, right? With that being said, this is really great results. It's a shame that I traded 1.5 because it should have been 1%, so I would have probably been more closer to 7% or 6.5. I'm not sure what the math is really. But yeah, this one was an intentional 0.5 because I wasn't sure if it was going to work out. This one was not an intentional 0.5, so that's sad because I would have been up $4,000 already, actually. So that would have been like 8%, I believe, roughly. So yeah, really good results, no losses, pretty good filtering. Let's see if we can continue to get these kind of results. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but so far so good. With that being said, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.